being a hard money lender, brokering deals to flippers, to landlords, helping people be able to get deals done. You have a history being in the wholesale space. You worked at Revamp many moons ago. And catch us up, man. What's happened in the last 2 years?
I went all in on TikTok. I had one video that went close to 1 million views, connected with people through the DMs.
Getting over being uncomfortable in front of a camera, what was that like for you?
It was almost 2 years just to get to 1,000 followers. Go live now. Your video is going viral.
I know that you would be very happy with less views, less comments, more leads. Did you prepare an idea for us to do a TikTok while you're here? Welcome back to the Revamp Podcast. Super excited today. Second time back. We're in for round 2, which I always love because we get to get into so many other things and just topics and kind of recap on what's happened since the last time you joined us on the show. Gary Brown, glad to have you, man.
What's up, Drew?
What's up?
You know, you've known me for a long time, but you haven't been addressing me by my proper title.
Your proper
and
title?
I'm kinda getting,
oh, please. Whoa.
I'm getting a little pissed off about it.
I don't want to offend anyone.
Do you know that I am a former councilman?
Former?
Oh,
former.
yeah.
I did know that you were a councilman.
Yes.
I didn't know it's former.
So it's Councilman Brown.
Ooh, all right. All right.
Hard Money Gary.
Or Hard Money Gary. I think that's the one that kind of sticks.
Yeah. Hard Money Gary, King of the Spring City Streets, Councilman Brown, whatever you want to refer to me.
I love it, man. I love it. Which is probably the perfect segue because I told you joking yesterday that we're just going to talk about WWE the whole time.
Yeah.
So, but no, on a serious note, Hard Money Gary. Last time you were in, you talked to us a little bit about being a hard money lender, brokering deals to flippers, to landlords, helping people be able to get deals done. You have a history being in the wholesale space. You worked at Revamp many moons ago. And catch us up, man. What's happened in the last 2 years?
So in the last 2 years, I went all in on TikTok. And when I was first here, we were talking about how I grew the Facebook account, and we're just through organic DMs and just me operating all of that and going into Facebook groups and building my cash buyers list the same way that a wholesaler would be building their cash buyers list. But I was looking to work with investors. So I removed the fear of getting in front of the camera, and I built a consistency muscle of putting out content very regularly. And it was at a time when the TikTok algorithm was trying to push some people out there. And I had one video that went close to 1 million views, and that really got the ball rolling. And we go live on there and we talk to people all over the country. We rap about BRRRR strategy, hard money loans, DSCR loans. It's like a condensed infomercial, but it's educational, and it's building a community of people that keep on coming back to the lives, or like getting a notification that I'm going live, and they're like, all right, let's go on there and chat. Even if I've never done a deal with them, there's been scenarios where I've connected with people through the DMs to get to other people that I would never think possible. Like people that have been on A&E TV shows.
Really?
Yeah. People that are, semi-celebrities, people that have millions of followers on other platforms, but are like ghosting on TikTok because they're not trying to be on there.
But they're lurking. They're there. They're watching.
Lurking.
Yeah.
So it's just, everybody finds a way to promote themselves and promote their business. And I found one way that was working for me. And it supports the whole lifestyle that me and my wife have built. We live in Spring City. Okay. We aren't, trying to flex on anybody. We are, our blue collar life is she's a teacher and I hustle my loans and I do my grind on social media, and that's how we make it work.
Hell yeah, dude. I love that. So much to unpack there just with the social media stuff, and something that you brought up there, like getting over being uncomfortable in front of a camera, what was that like for you?
So do you know that you pushed me to do
I might know that.
some videos that on Facebook
30-day live,
and
baby.
I did like 30 days of that. So what I found through that was, I was able to connect with a lot of people that were in the real estate investing space and that just like put things on my profile. That was, early on. I mean, that was probably pre-pandemic that I was even doing that.
Yeah.
And then that kind of went away. So I didn't know if I could do that again because I didn't believe in myself in being an expert at anything because I hadn't achieved what I thought expertise was. But what I found is that the social proof of putting the camera on you is sometimes enough. Mm-hmm. That's not to say that you should go out there and start bullshitting people and, not know what you're talking about or just say untruths. But if you have had experiences doing anything, then it's more than someone else.
Yep.
And someone told me, like, Gary, you've done like hundreds of loans. Like, why are you still like in this imposter syndrome? And it's like, because I value each and every client that I work with, and one referral can still jeopardize everything. So I just want to be as perfect as possible, and it'll never be enough. There will always be another deal to do, whether you're buying houses, wholesaling, doing loans, there's always another deal to do. Mm-hmm. And so, trying to make it about, I don't know where I was going with it, Drew.
No. Hey, you're preaching to the choir, man. But it's like that imposter syndrome. I think a lot of people feel that for a lot of different reasons. And one of my big aha moments, maybe in the last year or two of my life and my business career, is I've had the realization that the more that I do, the more transactions that I've done, the more things that I've experienced, ups, downs, and otherwise, not only do I not know anything, nobody knows anything. And this is coming from a guy that owns like one of the top 1% companies in, different industries. And it's like, no, I don't really know anything.
That's so funny that you bring that up because on my walk last night, earlier we were talking about the thoughts that come through. One of the thoughts was, when will it be when I have figured it out? And then I was like, no, dude, like, no one's figured it out. It's everybody's first September 7th.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like people will argue that and be like, oh, well, no, like anybody that's at the top, it's like they know everything. It's like they might know everything today. Mm-hmm. But the reality is, and it's true in almost every business, every industry, every personal development thing, whatever, shit is changing all the time. So you might have conquered everything to beat level 10, but guess what, motherfucker? Tomorrow, it's a new level. And there might be new bosses that you have to fight, new obstacles you have to overcome. And your previous experience and expertise might not correlate to being able to beat those bosses.
So for somebody starting out and in whatever phase of business that they're doing, they just decided, all right, I'm going to go in on whatever I'm looking to do. That first level of getting over the fact that everybody's had their first day, everybody's made their mistakes, and it's okay that you are making your mistakes right now because the people that have done it thousands of times are just making more mistakes at a faster pace than you.
That's right. That's exactly right, man. So real quick, tell me about that video that you posted that went totally viral. That was like the first one that kind of got crazy traction, right?
Yeah. So that was a skit, and my cleaning lady was there in the house, and I was feeling real like antsy. Like I had been working really, really hard. I mean, I had been working with different coaches and being consistent for probably 100 days in a row, posting at least 2 to 3 times a day. And I was only at like 2,000 or 3,000 followers at that point, and had my first goal with TikTok was, at the time, it was you need to get 1,000 followers to be able to go live.
Okay.
I knew that going live was where I was going to be able to talk to a whole bunch of people, and basically like I'm on the street corner barking, and just my Carney show is hard money and DSCR loans.
Yep.
And so I said, okay, that's the goal. So I worked almost 2 years in that just to get 1,000 followers.
Wait, you mean you didn't just post your first video and it went viral and you got 1 million views and it was just overnight success?
No. It was almost 2 years just to get to 1,000 followers and researching different hooks, researching different ways to like present and different editing techniques and things and what's working, getting sucked down rabbit holes of like, this is how you hack it. No, there's no hacking it. It's just consistency and being relatable and coming across on the camera like you're talking to another human being. There, at least that's what TikTok's about. Instagram is a little bit different. So the cleaning lady was there. I was feeling like, all right, I've posted a lot of here's how, 3 tips. This is what you're looking for when you do this. Like, okay, what can I actually do? All right, well, let's show some creativity and do a skit. And I did a skit that was, I want to buy a rental property in my LLC. Cool, use a DSCR loan. DSCR loan? Yeah, it's a debt service coverage ratio loan where you don't need to provide any proof of income or tax returns to qualify. So I did that, and it carried through a scenario where it talked about a husband and wife that were business owners and what they would need to bring for debt to income and saying there's no need for that. And it resonated with some audience. And by the grace of the algorithm at the time, it got picked up. And then I got a notification that said, go live now. Your video is going viral. And then I went live and then it went to the moon.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So were you getting a lot of comments as well, or was it just kind of likes and shares or haters talking shit? Like, what was it like?
I mean, the haters are good because they're engagement fairies. They come in and they're leaving a comment. You've evoked an emotion in them to take their thumbs out and put it on there. So thanks. What it showed on the back end was how broken my system was for lead intake.
Because you ended up getting a lot of leads as a result.
Oh my gosh, dude. I think the inquiries during the first 3 weeks of that run was in the hundreds.
Nice.
And it was like, whoa, like I don't even have a connection or a Zapier integration to be able to put things. I had to handle everything manually.
Broke the system.
So I was like, okay, well, at least that I was able to learn, okay, well, it may have been a little too early to go viral, but thankfully I did so that it could expose these problems and then I can go and tackle them.
I love it, man. I love it.
So that was cool.
So prior to that, what was a typical week or month worth of leads from social media?
So it was just organic effort at that point. TikTok would allow me to get some leads going live. So there were things coming through that. And even the low count views on some videos are impactful to the person that's watching it.
Absolutely.
So there would be lower count views on videos that would still perform.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like super crazy, but it was probably about like 7 to 10 leads per week.
7 to 10 leads per week, like in that first 2-year period before you even got to 1,000. That's pretty sweet, dude.
After I got to 1,000, when I started going live is when the leads started coming in.
Well, how about from that period of just starting out and trying to get to 1,000 followers?
That might have been 7 to 10 per month.
Okay. That's still not bad, man.
It was slow, but the content was specific and niche enough that people wanted to reach out about it.
Gotcha.
And then after 1,000 followers, then it was into like the 7 to 10 lead per week realm. And then it started to get some crossover where people on Facebook saw me on TikTok, and then, without having a real system, not being able to track exactly where all the organic traffic comes from, it kind of blended up a little bit. Dude,
I love that. I love that. Hard money, Gary. What's your follower count at now?
We're at 34,000, for anyone that hears that number and says, "Oh my gosh, like 34,000," you're still going to have views on TikTok at least where it's still under 500 on the video. follower count is just people that you were able to create a connection with at that time and they hit the button.
At least, yeah.
The algorithm doesn't always show your video to all your followers, unlike a YouTube or an Instagram where they're more like fostering of a community.
Yep.
TikTok is sending things out to a random audience every single video.
Yep.
So what that allows you to do is say the same message over and over and over again and test what's working. And so that first skit, I did about 25 other variations of, hey, I want to buy a rental property in my LLC. Cool, use a DSCR loan. But then I would say, I have different scenarios of people, why they would use a DSCR loan. And so then if somebody got engaged with one skit, then they could see other skits that I did that were talking about other problems. And it's amazing when you put things in that format, how it speaks to the lead avatar that you're trying to get to.
Yep.
So, you know, I want to buy a rental property in my LLC. Cool, use a DSCR loan. All right, well, I'm a contractor and I like to buy properties that need to be fixed up. All right, well, have you taken a look at hard money and then do the BRRRR strategy? And that can be a skit all in its own and just different variations.
Dude, I love that. I love that. You found something that worked and then you said, I'm going to go replicate that thing and just make little tweaks to it and everything. Any of the other variations that you made after that point, did any of them achieve virality like that first one?
So no, I mean, I have not gotten a video that has done over 900,000, but there was a period of time where it was very regularly for 100, 200, 300,000 view videos.
Yeah.
You know, at least once or twice a month. And then and those are good videos, but that's speaking to like the base level audience.
Yeah. Yep.
It is the niche videos that are under 5,000 that perform for like lead generation because they're so specific in talking about a scenario that really resonates. Like, and you do it when you do your TV commercials. Like if you're in a distress situation, you're facing foreclosure or anything like that. Like when you set up the script that way, you're talking to a specific person. So anyone that is looking to do short form content, talk directly to the person that you want to talk to. And given the right platform, that person's going to raise their hand.
Yeah, I love that, man. And to that point, like I think it's so easy for people to get caught up in the vanity metrics as well and be like, oh my God, you know, I had this video that did 500,000 views. Now this one that I posted only did 50. It's like, that's like a lagging indicator, right? It's like, especially for what you were doing, your goal was drive leads, right? So I am positive, I don't even need to ask you, I can speak for you. I know that you would be very happy with less views, less comments, more leads.
Yes. I don't care. That's a great way to look at it, but there is the dark side. I mean, we were just talking about this upstairs. Sometimes I do begrudgingly post because I know that now we're going to be generating a lot of DMs. We're going to be generating a lot of inquiries, qualified and unqualified. And given the size of the business where I'm still handling a lot of the front end, like qualification and sales end of things, then it's like, okay, well, now I got to make sure that I have enough time to be able to handle all of these while still managing all of the deals in the pipeline and trying to do my best at being a leader and grow a team a bit.
Yep. Dude, I'm absolutely with you. And that's the thing. It's all a progression, and you don't know, just like when you did that first video that went viral and it broke your lead intake form and everything. It's kind of that's why I kind of like that Mark Zuckerberg Facebook mission statement or whatever, move fast and break things. It's like you have to test the boundaries of everything to see where everything is kind of going to fall apart and your weak links are where you need to improve. And then to that point of being a leader and everything, that's a whole other level, because it doesn't matter how good you are at content, lead gen, closing deals and sales and everything. It just opens a whole new world of leadership and management to you and everything. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, let's just cut this promo right now. what is a passive business, Drew? Shouldn't you be working on your business rather than in your business?
I'm so glad you brought that up because I almost flipped my fucking desk upstairs when you brought this up earlier. I despise when gurus kind of push that message and basically try to belittle you and be like, there is something wrong with you and there's something wrong with your business. If you can't step away for a month at a time, Gary, your business should be able to run without you. And at the very least, you should be working on your business, not in it. It's like, that's not real, man.
No, the practical, and I'm guilty, sucked into that message, definitely have subscribed a couple of times.
Everyone has.
Yeah.
And that's why it pisses me off so much is a lot of people that do get sucked into it, it crushes their soul and essentially ends up being a precursor to something that kind of pushes them out of business. That's the sad part of the story. The other side is the people that do make it through it and just kind of realize it for what it is, that it's bullshit, man. Like, dude, I know a lot of guys that have stupid net worths that run businesses that do $10, $20 million a year. Guess what? They're not sitting on a beach for a month at a time where their business is just running. It's not real.
No, that's a marketing thing for sure. I think it's definitely, and that it's definitely something that I'm trying to avoid, trying to build out my own mentorship ministry type of network. For the last 6 months, I've been, preaching the gospel of hard money and DSCR on Sunday nights, looking to get more people into this business, adding it on to their existing wholesaling business or their financial advisor business or anything that's touching other people that are buying properties. I think that adding in this little skill set could easily get them $2,500, $5,000, even $10,000 a month that they didn't know was already in their pipeline.
Yep.
And what I'm trying to avoid when, doing my shtick on that is giving a false hope of like, you're going to do this every time, and it's going to be
5 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be so easy, and everything's going to be done for you. No, you still have to make an effort to learn and go through experiences.
Totally agree, man. Totally agree. So talk to me a little bit about that, because that's basically another business entirely, right? Like bringing people in and kind of coaching them up on how to be a broker, right? Like they have to go get their broker's license and everything.
Oh, no license.
No?
What are you talking about, Drew?
Okay. All right. All right.
Listen.
Off the book on this microphone.
Here's the deal. For the last 4 years, I've been setting up my business the way like the old school wholesaling was. I don't need a license. I want to do everything virtually. I want to be able to connect people with people that have stuff and the people that need or want stuff. And I want to be in the middle and make the connection. And my stuff is funding for real estate deals. And when you can convey that concept, what I'm hoping is that the light bulb goes off for somebody and says, I have these people in my network already. I don't want to add on any additional licenses or I don't want to pay any money to be more certified in whatever. I want to learn how to do a business that can then translate in either more time or more revenue or more investment in my existing real estate business. So any contractor, any real estate investor, flipper, or landlord that's going out to meetups, you are now a hard money and DSCR loan broker. I'm giving you the title right now. You are a hard money and DSCR loan broker because you have people in your network. The missing piece is that you need to know the lenders that are willing to work with you at that capacity. And then if you've gotten one of these loans before, then you've gone through the process. You're probably more qualified than someone that hasn't.
Yeah.
So you could show somebody how to do it. And if you have somebody that's done hundreds of them, like myself, to give you a little framework to follow and a checklist, you can be well on your way. And that's what we've been doing. But you mentioned this before. It is a separate business. And I barely got good at running one business. I'm pretty arrogant to think I can go start a new business, but I guess that's what we're all doing, right?
To some degree, everybody that has an entrepreneurial bone in their body suffers from that shiny object syndrome, because it's optimism, right? It's like, well, it's probably a little bit of optimism and a little bit of pessimism, because it's probably a little bit of, well, it would be significantly harder for me to scale my current business that I've already been running and operating. It would be a significant amount of effort to be able to double or triple that. But it would be pretty easy to come over here and spend a couple hours a week on this thing that could generate a couple $1,000 a month.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So we got a community over on School, and we'll drop the link below this video so you guys can join. And in there, we're running boot camps and challenges every month. So the lead up to that is we do 3 or 4 webinars ahead of that. So that's like every Sunday night at 8 p.m. we're running a webinar to get people inside of the community, talk about what this business looks like. We run through it A to Z, the process that you need to follow. There's the sell the what and then charge for the how to. That's what we're doing. And it's $197 to join in the school group. It's a one-time, and you're getting at least one boot camp live inside of that, and every additional boot camp that we do moving forward to refresh your skill set. It's a pretty low ticket, high value of a growing community for people that are looking to add this in. So,
dude, I love it. So what would you say a realistic time commitment is for somebody that wants to get involved with that? To do like potentially their first deal, how much time do you think they need to commit? And what's like a typical check size?
Sure. So let's talk about the person that is already a real estate agent. Okay, they're already a real estate agent, and they're in an office where they have like investor agents that are doing a few more transactions than them. And rather than building a whole new clientele base, they go and learn this skill set, and then they can work with the investor agents and be able to make a commission based off of getting them the fix and flip loan. So investor agent A is finding the properties for the investor, makes the connection with the other loan broker agent, and now you've got a duo. This is not regulated by RESPA yet. It's you operate in your own LLC to get paid by the lender. You're establishing a lender broker agreement, so your referrals go to them, and if you follow their process, you get paid.
Okay.
What we're doing over here is we've already identified the lenders that work with brokers nationwide, where they have a pretty set formula. We've been able to repeat that process over and over again, and you can get access to our processors to close that deal once you go through the boot camp. So, time frame. You're the investor agent, you're the agent in a brokerage where there is an investor agent that's doing a bunch of transactions. You make up with them, and you say, hey, like, I just learned how to do the fix and flip loan. Let me do that for you on this next deal. And, you got another set of eyes on your team to get the deal to the finish line. Because that's really what this business is another set of eyes on the transaction to make sure that it gets to the finish line. Plenty of transactions die. We don't like talking about that on this side, but there are plenty of transactions that die. I don't want it to be because of me.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you have another person on your team that can be another set of eyes to hold accountability for this group project to get to the finish line on time, I don't think, that's definitely worth the $2,500 or $5,000 that you're charging, depending on the size of the loan.
I love it. So real quick, on the borrowing or lending side, depending on however you're looking at it, you have ability to lend to borrowers in all states?
I operate in 46 of the 50 states. The only states that I don't do are North Dakota, South Dakota, Alaska, and Hawaii.
Okay.
Alaska and Hawaii, we do have coverage for it, but I would be up on the phone like at just such odd hours for where those people are. It's not worth it. The amount of deal flow, great. Someone else can have that.
Yep.
But for the lower 48, for the most part, if you are near an NFL-sized market, I have the widest coverage for you. If you're not, then we still have coverage in most areas with a metro population of 10,000 or more.
Yep. And then I'm sure that this is your favorite question all the time because it is the first question that you'll get from everybody. What's the rate and term?
Well, this is what I've been trying to play with. And one of the ideas that I had for some content was just reviewing deals and just like slapping a rate and term on it. Be like, this one's a 12-3. This one's a 10-2. Like just based off of how I see the deals. Cause that is how my brain has started to work where I'm looking at these real estate deals and you know how, you know, an investor or a flipper is going to look at a deal one way. And then a retail real estate agent is going to look at a deal one way for how much they can list it for.
Yep.
And then anyone else along the line is going to look at a deal a different way. The way that I'm looking at these deals is what is the path of least resistance to getting this deal to the funding stage and closed? And then what does this deal prescribe? So if we get a situation, a guy just called me up last night and he says, Gary, my lender's taking too long and we need to close by next Wednesday. All right. So I had to buckle up and I said, listen, these aren't going to be the sexiest terms, but we're going to be able to do it if we can get everything in tonight. And so we stepped in, we got the process, and now that's moving forward and we're looking at closing on Tuesday.
Damn. First time borrower?
First time working with me, but I did pitch this deal 3 weeks ago. And if he had had the right preparation and then we're not facing this emergency right now.
Yep.
Interesting thing about it is that it is a wholesale deal. So that adds a little bit of a wrinkle. And so now I got to work with a lender that is accepting of wholesale assignment agreements, is willing to pay them in full out of the loan proceeds, not having to bring extra cash from the borrower. By the way, guys, hard money lenders are not all created equal. Some are okay with assignment agreements, but they'll pay only $5,000 or they'll only pay $10,000 of an assignment agreement. Then your borrower is going to have to come with the difference in cash plus their down payment. So their down payment is going to be based off of the purchase price.
We don't like them.
This isn't the lender that you want to work with. You want to work with somebody that's going to get you 100% of your assignment rolled into the loan proceeds, even if that does mean a little bit of a higher down payment from your borrower, because it's not what it could be.
Right.
So back to this scenario. You can get paid in as quick as 7 days doing this business, but you have to be prepared for the situation to come and know where to place them. If you are that person that's looking at this and saying, maybe I could be the one to do it, give yourself 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, if you have a connection with somebody that's ready to go buy a deal, that's as fast as it can happen. Some people that are starting from zero network and zero real estate knowledge, there's going to be a little bit of a buildup. I would say give yourself a good 6 to 9 months of networking and actually
just learning the terminology, the verbiage, the rubbing elbows with people.
I saw somebody else talk about this. And I'm recommending this to everyone else now. Let's stop with the coffee dates and the lunch dates.
Why?
Bro.
Why? Aren't they the greatest?
Man, you're telling me I got to go drive 15 minutes, then we got to go sit for an hour, and then I got to drive back 15 minutes when, hey, let's go catch a workout, or let's go, can you come to the job site? Or can I come to the job site and actually see what you're working on? And maybe I can, at least I'm not taking you away from your daily route.
Yep.
Like me coming and do a podcast at your office. Obviously this is benefiting both of us, but like it's something where, okay, well, I'm not just taking, Drew out for a date.
Right.
We're coming in here, we're getting some business done.
Yep. Well, and that's I mean, look, you're preaching to the choir. You're talking to the guy that turned his phone off for a little over 3 months. My phone would not receive calls. So I am all about protecting my time from time wasters. I will go out of my way for somebody that, also values their own time as well as mine. And I generally know that they're a heavy hitter and they're going to do what they say that they're going to do, Yeah. Like I will gladly go spend an entire day with somebody if I think that it's going to be valuable, not just for me, but for them. But most of the time, the people that are like, hey, Gary, let me take you out for a coffee. It's like, what you're asking me to do is commit an hour or more of my time, probably more because I have to go there and everything, right? For you to buy me a $3 cup of coffee. My time is worth a little bit more than $3 an hour. You know? So yeah, that needs to go away.
I would prefer that to exit. Although old school, you know, maybe that's how it worked back in the day. I don't think I think there's better value to be added to a relationship up front and be able to earn referral business quicker is if you can either bring a deal, bird dog a deal. If you're not getting the deal under contract and bringing it to somebody, okay, fine. But do you have a lead on things? Do you have a beat on it? Can you go to and from depot and like bring stuff to the job site? Like if you're genuinely trying to break into it and you got no money, but you got all the time, these are the things that you can do. Being a lender, I have to have the biggest like bullshit meter when I'm starting to talk with people. I don't know if it's made me like callous or something, but it's really hard, especially generating leads online where I'm not always talking to somebody in person. It's not as easy to read. So I got to read between the lines on what they're telling me. And so like, if you're going to give me a story about your credit, bro, just tell me your credit sucks. And then I can figure out something. Don't give me, well, what happened was this. No, I don't need to hear that. And then same thing. If you don't have cash right now, maybe flipping houses is maybe not the right step. There's a lot of people that are telling others that you can flip houses or do real estate with no money. Sure you can. You are going to have to wholesale or you're going to have to come up with some creative strategy. But those things not only are needles in a haystack, they are needles in a hay field most of the time because sellers in general, the distressed ones want top dollar. They're getting beat down by a cash offer, not just on like a terms offer. So how can you? It's interesting, the creative finance and all of these like different creative ways to make deals happen. They're usually reserved as another tool in the toolbox, in addition to cash offers, flipping, wholesaling, and just doing the BRRRR method. Then it's like, oh, well, great. I get to use my sub-2 muscle right now. Oh, I get to do a lease option muscle right now. Like it's crazy to think that there's people that are dedicated to just one way of doing a deal and then are passing up a whole bunch of other ways to do it.
Well, it's funny to that point because as you were saying that, I was thinking back to years ago, and I'm sure you remember how set in my ways I was. And I'm like, dude, we don't do creative deals like in this business. It's absolutely a tool, and I think it's good to know, but we're just not doing it because we were a volume shop, right? It's like if we have to train the entire sales team on something that's kind of complicated, to be honest, right? It's like it's more of an uphill battle to explain to a seller and be able to elegantly navigate the entire situation through explaining to them how we're going to take over and all this stuff, right? Rather than just being like, hey, Gary, I'll give you $200,000 for your piece of shit house. You know, like that's simple, you know?
So then what is that? Like, what is the feeling when you're in that conversation talking to a seller and you're about to pitch a terms option? Do you want that seller to know what terms are ahead of time, or do you want to do the base level education and then bring them along the entire way? Here's a different way to do real estate. I know you've been alive on this planet for 60 years and have only seen transactions go one way. Here's a totally different way. And by the way, I'm going to get paid to do this.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I can't speak elegantly on that because we've never pitched it ever. Like, and I've actually had a couple deals that it was like, that was the only way that it could work. And I'm just like, yeah, it's not for me. I'll just refer it out to somebody else. We didn't even try to navigate that, you know? But yeah, I don't know the best way to do it. I just know that it's a very time consuming, and I mean, look, it's emotionally draining enough dealing with distressed sellers, right? I just think for me personally, and the way that I wanted to run my business, it's like, I don't think even if we got really good at that, I couldn't foresee us doing more than a dozen of those a year. You know, and it's like, that's not where I wanted to be. I wanted to be at 500 deals a year. There's no way that you could do 500 creative deals a year. That's impossible, you know?
It's definitely at scale, and you're having to cast a super wide net in order to make that happen.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know, man. But tell me a little bit about what you see, any new changes, any insights that you've had from the last 6 months, 12 months.
Yeah. Something recently that's going on in Baltimore, you better be working with the right loan broker. In Baltimore right now, a bunch of the DSCR note buyers are no longer buying the notes for DSCR loans originated in Baltimore City.
What does that mean?
So in this business, your property is getting a DSCR loan on it, and the originator of that loan is selling that note immediately to Wall Street. And those
All the time? That happens all the time?
The vast majority of DSCR loans are traded.
Okay.
And that's why there's like only a few servicers. So anyway, there's a bunch of, there was rampant fraud over the last couple of years. What was found out and uncovered to be rampant fraud on the appraisal side for the DSCR loans, because these loans are very flexible as far as like the borrower, because we're not asking for income verification or tax returns to qualify. It's based off of the debt service. And if there can be approvals all the way down to a 1.0, which means a break even, then hey, it's a higher interest loan, so it has appetite for the note buyers, but there's a little bit higher risk. And the DSCR loan, the super brokers is what they really are. They do their best to have a formal appraisal done, and then they oftentimes do a secondary appraisal, like a collateral desktop analysis or a secondary appraisal internally. You are charged for that, by the way. And they try to mitigate it, but what's happened in Baltimore over the last couple of years, there were a few brokers and appraisers and borrowers that were all in on this, and they would buy like the same types of properties. They would approve them to the same way. They would buy in one area, get them all up, sell a couple. Now they've kind of manipulated,
inflated the market
sales
value,
price, now even Dominion, who is in Baltimore City, their headquarters is there. One of the biggest DSCR lenders in the country is Dominion. Even they're not lending in their own home city right now.
Wow. Really? So, well, I guess time will tell how that kind of unfolds, but it's like, it's still a fresh wound.
Yeah, it's July 2025. So we'll see, what happens, as this video is out there. But for right now, bunch of the note buyers have paused, which means that trickle down is if you're trying to do a burst strategy in the city of Baltimore right now, you're in a tough spot.
Yeah.
You're going to have to sell.
Gotcha.
If you can't qualify for conventional, you might have to sell.
I can't see wanting to own a rental in Baltimore anyway. I'm thinking about how much I hate Philly.
Similar market.
I guess, but Baltimore to me is worse, but that's probably because my experience in Baltimore, when we were wholesaling there, this was probably a couple years ago. I just remember we had a couple properties under contract, and we got them all virtually. I went down there to go take pictures, do lockbox, all that stuff the one day. And the one we got down there, it was just me. And the front was all boarded up. Seller didn't tell us it was boarded up or anything. So I go around the back in the alley, and there was an open window that was like kind of almost that grade. It was only like a foot up from the ground.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I was like, there's definitely somebody in this house,
100%.
you know? So I went in, I had a flashlight, right? I'm hollering, hey, is anybody here? I'm just looking at the house. I'm trying to buy it. Nobody's answering or anything. And I just remember, man, like I go around the corner and it's pitch black in there because everything's boarded up. So I just got my flashlight and I go around the corner. There's a stairway there going to the upstairs and I'm still hollering, is anybody here? Is anybody in the house? And dude, somebody just starts running at me, like coming around the corner, down the stairs, and I'm just booking, dude.
Oh my God.
And I was actually videoing, so I showed it to everybody and my wife and my friends, and it's like, because you just see me walking through the house and then me running like a little bitch, man. Because like if somebody did not respond to me calling out, but now they're chasing me, they don't have good intentions, man. Like I'm out of here, dude.
Yeah.
I stopped wholesaling in Baltimore after that. No, I was done.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
But yeah, man, it's interesting.
So that's what I'll say is that over the last couple of years, what I've noticed is you got to work with the right broker. And just like the situation that I gave earlier, not properly setting timelines for getting to closing. Like if you have a firm closing date for whatever the seller's reason is, and they need to sell on whatever date that is. If you as a loan broker, or if you're working with somebody that's like jerking around on the closing date or being able to, or hasn't outlined the process specifically on how they're going to get there, that might be a little bit of an indication that they're still shopping the deal around and haven't found a home for it. And that's not good.
Gotcha. What do you see for yourself with your lending business in the coming, I hate going long timelines, let's just say in the next 12 to 18 months?
In the next 12 to 18 months, we're going to have some more automations up front, and we might even be integrating more of like a video AI style assist in the application. This is, me just kind of spitballing it and putting some wishes out there in the universe, but there are tools where we can make that possible. Where, borrower was last night, he was giving me shit. He was like, Gary, I got to fill out this application every single time. It's a loan application,
Well, how involved is the loan application? A typical application is just property address, purchase price, scope of work, right?
Right. So where the process can be kind of sped up is after we've worked together on a few deals, I have your paperwork. It shouldn't be any harder than here's the property, here's the purchase price, rehab budget, here's the templates for what we plan to do. But to make sure that everything sticks, I have to have this full loan application signed so that I can present it over. It has some disclosures on there. So if we can make that a little bit faster, then that can make repeat borrowers continue to have a better experience. And then as well as newer borrowers feel like everything's collected at once and we're not going back to them for condition. But although there are deals where that's just the nature of the beast.
Of course. There's always going to be things that pop up that are necessary to be filled out prior to closing, like once you're under review and everything, right?
Yes.
It's like, yeah.
If I can give any advice to someone that's looking for a hard money loan is have all of your business entity documents digitally and in one spot. And then also if there are anything that need to be updated on those, your loan officer or your loan broker or your processor is going to advise you on what needs to happen. Get those done as soon as possible. Most of the time you cannot move a stage, at least when working with a nationwide lender. If you're working with a private money lender, then you don't have to worry about these problems.
Different.
But if you're working with a hard money lender or a nationwide lender, they oftentimes can't move stages of the process without a box being checked.
That makes sense.
So if someone's telling you that they need something, the faster that you can get it to them,
it's not moving to the next step until you check that box.
Exactly. Yep. So, in a situation where it takes 12 hours for you to respond and we're trying to close in 6 days,
yeah,
you're putting a lot of pressure on the rest of the system.
Yeah. Yeah, totally makes sense. So right now, what is your document flow, if you will? Do you have like a website, an online portal where a borrower goes in, they submit a loan application, submit all their entity docs, stuff like that, or?
So the way that we've tried to streamline this is we're going to have an initial conversation about your deal. I'm going to stress test it. I'm going to ask you 4 questions. Tell me about your deal. The first one is the 2-parter. Tell me about your deal and how much money you're looking to make.
And this is all over a conversation,
Yes.
verbal conversation on the phone.
Exactly.
Okay.
Tell me about your deal. How much money are you looking to make? Second question is, have you done this before? Okay. And then I'm going to ask some questions like how that went, who you use as a lender, if you've ever used a lender before, that type of stuff. Then we're going to get into the third question, was how much cash do you have to throw in on the project? And then the last question, for me at least, is, tell me what your credit is right now. I'm a loan broker. I work with nationwide lenders. I have credit standards and I do have liquidity requirements. But that allows me to do deals all over the country, cast a wide net, and I can handle the lead attrition for those that don't qualify on those from just the outset.
Right.
So from there, we're going to take the data points, and then I'm going to ask you to commit to those data points by getting you a short form application. This is where I'm going to get the data that you shared with me again, but you're going to put that information in.
Okay.
From there, that's what I'm going to use to go shop at a couple of different lenders and be able to generate some preliminary terms. And then I'm going to give you one option that I believe is best for the scenario so that I'm not confusing you, or 2 options if it really does call for it, because we can get a better interest rate with a little bit of a longer process. So if we have 30 days, we can get a better interest rate and you can get a full appraisal, and the overall cost for the money can be a little bit cheaper.
Right.
Or if you want to do this as close to the private money style as possible, virtual desktop underwrite, no paid appraisal, no bank statements required. If you want to go that route, you might have a little bit more of a process as far as your background and your credit and your paperwork.
Got it.
So because they want to have that buttoned up.
Got it.
So from there, get you the preliminary term sheets, and then that's when you say, all right, we're good with this. I'm going to shoot you over a bold sign, and you're literally going to be able to fill out everything and then upload all the documents that I need. I ask for everything that's required inside of that bold sign, and you can't finish it until you've put everything
What
in
is
there.
that? Is that kind of like a
It's a
DocuSign type of thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a DocuSign.
gotcha.
I've used all of them. Bold sign right now is the cheapest. It's like, it was $60 for the year with 500 envelopes. And last year, DocuSign started charging a la carte for envelopes.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm still paying for it. I don't know why, but I am.
And yeah, so I saw that I used 300 envelopes last year. And for that same thing, I would be going up from like 600 for the year to like 1,200. I was like, what the hell is that? You're doubling the price? Anyway, so same thing. They get all the same features. They're able to upload all of their documents. I'm asking for everything that I need inside of there. From there, that helps me be the best prepared to be able to make a submission so that we can order the appraisal as quick as possible.
Got it.
If I'm missing in any of that point, or if you don't upload the right thing inside of there, that's where we're going to have a little bit of delay. So trying to streamline that and condensing it to as best as possible, while not, there are other mortgage brokers. They have their own like loan operation, LOS is loan operation service system or service or whatever. So they have a little bit more like plugins with that.
Right.
I'm still, this is the way that I've set up the business so that I can operate the way that I want.
Yep.
And this is what I coach on people to do, just to have that like rudimentary system, have that conversation, issue the term sheet, send out the DocuSign, bold sign, whatever it is, collect the documents, and then you move forward with the process. And that's when you engage and make the full submission.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing. It's always like being able to walk before you can run and everything, because if you were to try to set up a fully blown out like web portal with all of that stuff kind of integrated without you or a processor working for you.
I'd lose momentum for the business.
You'd spend so much freaking money. It would just, it would take away. But you're at that point now where it's like, it is a real legitimate question. It's like, is that the right step? Or, do you continue doing what you're doing and just plug more people in?
Yes. So that's one of the quests that I've been on in this entrepreneurship journey, is like, what are my skill set? How can I highlight them? And then what can get me to the paycheck, right? And while also providing a good client experience to earn more business.
Yep.
So I'm a first-time entrepreneur, so it's not like I have built other teams ahead of this. So yes, I'm at the point where, okay, am I going to be relying on my ability to implement systems, or do I need to find somebody that knows how to implement systems and then maybe the business goes in a different direction? I've heard advice about partnerships. Partnerships means partners in everything, including decision making. I don't necessarily love that idea.
Yep.
If I were to look at something objectively from like a Hormozy style, I don't really have anything to sell outside of an email list because everything still flows through me. It's not like I have a proprietary software or system. It's, still my own independent contracting business.
Yep.
So is the direction to try and build something worth selling, or is the direction to build a personal brand that offers these things? And hard money loans and DSCR loans was the launch pad for me to go into more affiliate services. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. All these questions, man, who knows where it'll shake out and everything, but you've already done an incredible job of getting to the point where you're at and doing what you've done on social media. And seriously, kudos to you. Thanks. And everything, because a lot of people that just consume content but have never created content, they don't see how hard it is, man. It's like they may look at a video that you did, a little skit that's 30 seconds long, and they're like, oh, Gary did a silly 30-second long video today, so I know that he put in 30 seconds of work creating that. It's like, nah, man, sometimes it takes hours to just come up with the idea and then record it and re-record it and then post it and then edit it, all this stuff, replying to comments. There's a lot to it, man. And you've successfully built a lead gen funnel out of it, which is a step beyond just having the balls to get on social media and post stuff, then gaining traction, and then effectively driving leads from it. That's awesome, man.
It's definitely a different way of doing things. And I think AI is here to help.
What do you think is going to happen to maybe your business and the entire borrowing industry as a whole once AI is fully adopted? Do you think it goes away?
I can tell you what happened.
Most jobs are going to go away.
Fake jobs are going to go away.
I think a lot of jobs are going to go away.
You're like managerial jobs. I've already seen the agents in action. You don't need a manager. You don't need to pay a middle manager, because the middle manager is the operator that's making sure tasks are done.
Yep.
So that's going away. As for the lending industry, I think it's going to be more heavily on the marketing side than it is going to be on the limiting risk side. I think as a whole, title companies are in trouble because once, I'm not saying that it's going to get to a crypto level, but once everything is on the blockchain, they're in trouble.
Which, by the way, that makes a lot of sense for things like title.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think processing is going to get a hell of a lot easier for you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, processing. There's feasibly a way to create an AI agent that is purely customer service. And even if I prepped somebody, this is an idea that I did have, and someone can do it and then I will buy it. I could create a customer service AI agent that I, as the loan broker, and say, hey, listen, we're having our conversation. I think the deal's good. This may be a little bit weird, but I have to put you on an interview with an AI. They're going to take all of the data points and then they're going to walk you through our application so that you have this conversation with them once. And then that's the last time that we'll ask you for anything. We're going to take care of shit all the way through the rest.
Yep.
When it gets to that point where they can feel like they're having the human experience, the application is getting filled out while they're on the phone.
Yep.
And then they're sent that bold sign with them just to press the sign button and upload the documents, that's where it needs to go.
Yeah. Yeah, man, absolutely. And that stuff's going to get easier day by day, week by week.
Yeah.
And
well, you're in the AI world. I mean, how feasible is that?
Super feasible.
Okay.
Super feasible. It's funny because OpenAI, I think it was just last week, they released their new agent mode or whatever, which was kind of like their previous version of Operator, and now it's just available to the lower tiered plans. And it's funny because my bias, like I looked at it, I played with it and everything. It's like for most real world business use applications, it has zero utility for me, like none. It's really funny because most things AI related actually don't add much value, if any, to the real estate software that I've developed.
Okay.
It's super ironic. But
how do you figure that?
I think a lot of it comes down to we already have a lot of automations built. So a lot of things that people today are trying to leverage agents for really don't require agentic workflows. Most of it is just like kind of automations put really simply, right? So look at it from this lens, right? So for a workflow for you, you have your initial sales consultation or call, whatever you want to call that. And then from there, the person goes to, start to fill out their forms and everything and upload their EIN and their all their other business docs and everything. Like you don't necessarily need AI to the point that you made of like just verbally talking somebody through if they have questions. Absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah. But that's not really an AI agent. That's kind of like, dude, it's a freaking chat bot, It's a smart chat bot.
And it happened yesterday. I got a cold call from an AI, and then my AI receptionist picked up and they had a conversation. It is the weirdest
The robots are talking, man.
It is the weirdest conversation because they're so polite with each other. Oh, that makes sense. Thanks for sharing that with me. And it's like, okay.
I love it, man. I love it. But yeah, it's going to be funny to see how that all unfolds and everything. But I think for most people that don't already have a lot of automation set up in their business or in their personal life, because a lot of people are going to start applying this to their personal lives as well.
That's a mind-blowing thing.
It's huge, man. It's huge. I mean, just, scheduling to go to date night or whatever. Like there's so many different use cases and everything. But for me personally, like I already have so many things in my business and my life already automated that it's like agents don't really do much for me.
Okay.
But for most people, I think that's going to be a natural progression. Let me start leveraging agents, and there's going to be a whole bunch of bloat, right? Just like when you set up anything, it's like you're going to set it up and you're going to add way more features and functions than you actually freaking need because it's cool, it's new, it's a shiny object and everything. You're going to connect to all the different software tools that you use. So my CRM can connect to our DocuSign portal and everything. And it's like, in reality, it's probably not super necessary, but the only way that you find out that it's not necessary is by doing it.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be interesting to see how everything shakes out.
Well, cool, man. This was great.
Dude, this was fantastic. Gary Brown, where can people find you?
Hardmoneygary.com. You can find me at HardMoneyGary on TikTok and Instagram. You can reach out to me on my personal Facebook, and my business Facebook, which has the least amount. So if you wanted to go and follow me over there, that's good to go. And then again, plug in the school. Anyone that's listening to this podcast, you already have an interest in real estate something. You've listened to just about an hour or more of Drew and I talking about, this business. You're more than qualified to be a loan broker. So the school link will be in the description here, and then shoot me a DM and we'll have a one-on-one conversation, see how you can attack this business.
Let's make some money, baby. And now my last question for you is, did you prepare an idea for us to do a TikTok while you're here?
I think we just cut up like a dozen of them here.
That's true. That's true. No, I love it, Gary. Thank you so much for coming in. I respect everything that you've done. You're crushing it. And we'll have to have you back before 2 years. 2 years is a long time.
Yeah.
And see what's going on in the world of Gary Brown. Appreciate you, brother.